It's past 5 o'clock, and we have a quorum, so we are going to begin. We have 22 people we're hearing tonight. So I'd like to welcome the guests and appointees, and thank you for being here this evening. Again, I know some of you have come a long way. I'll try to pick those out and move them quickly, but hope you can stop and have something to eat and something to drink while you're here and enjoy Annapolis a little bit, but that's your choice. Okay, let's begin. And we will start with the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission, and we have Alan Silverstein and Senator Eckert.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, and members of the Executive Nominations Committee. I am here today to present to you Alan Silverstein to an unexpired term as a member as I think it's the open seat position on the member of the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission. Let me tell you a little bit about Al Silverstein. First of all, currently he has a consulting firm and they work on strategic leadership, planning, and governance. But before that, for 38 years, he led chambers around our country, 4 different Chamber of Commerces in 4 states. He retired from his last post, and it was at least, I think, 20 years at the Talbot Chamber, as he also participated in growing what we call our Shore Leadership Program, which is kind of a mirror image of Leadership Maryland, but he worked very diligently to expand that from a mid-shore leadership development program to a shore-wide program. And then in 2015, he decided that he would run for the Easton Town Council. So currently, he's been serving 2 terms there. He is very well respected, serves on a lot of boards and commissions around the community, and is always front and center of the activity, and has been a very wise sage and advisor to me on a number of issues. So I'd like to present to you Al Silverstein.
Okay, Mr. Silverstein.
Thank you, Senator Eckert. I want to thank the governor for the nomination. I want to thank the committee tonight for taking the time to give me the opportunity to appear before you.
Are there any questions or comments for Mr. Silverstein? I don't see any, so very easy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Senator Eckert, I see you have someone else from your district, so I'm going to skip there and let you stay there a second. Maryland Agriculture and Resource-Based Industry Development Corporation, their board of directors, and I'll start with yours, Bernie L. Rogers, Jr.
Is Mr. Rogers here?
Is he here? Yes. He's here. Oh, I thought he raised his hand there.
Mr. Rogers?
Oh, I saw somebody raise their hand. Okay, well, we'll wait if he's not here.
He comes in.
All right, we'll catch him if he comes in.
Okay.
Thank you. Automobile Insurance Fund Board of Trustees. And the first one up would be Ann Cox Ansel and Senator Klausmeyer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I would like to introduce Ann Cox Ansel, and I have known her for quite some time for Maryland Auto Insurance. If you look at her resume, you can see she's very good at financial management, and her education is impeccable. And her employment, her last group that she worked for was Redmer Financial Group, and she still does some work for them, but she has opened her own business. So she is a go-getter, and she's perfect for the job, and this is the second time around for her. So wherever she went. Oh, she's over here.
Okay, Ms. Ansel.
Thank you, Senator Clausmeyer. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to appear here tonight. I would just like to thank Governor Hogan for the opportunity to serve the citizens of Maryland. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve during the last 5 years, and I'm extremely grateful for the reappointment. Thank you.
Can I just say, Al Redmer is here from the Maryland Insurance Administration. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Kara King Bess and Senator Hedelman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Madam Vice Chair, members of the committee. I'm Shelley Hedelman here. My pleasure to introduce Kara King Bess. Kara comes from a long line of certified public accountants, and her dad was the first Black CPA in Maryland, which is pretty incredible. She and your sister? And brother are also CPAs in business together. She was appointed to the Maryland State Board of Public Accountancy, served for a 6-year term. She's a member of the Board of Directors of Miku Credit Union, Board of Directors of Virginia State University Foundation, former board member of AAA Mid-Atlantic, the Greater Baltimore Medical Center. She has a long history of public service and is a very accomplished CPA, must run in your genes, and is also has an MBA. So I'm very pleased to introduce Kara King Bess.
Ms. Bess?
Thank you, Senator. Good evening. I first want to acknowledge and thank Governor Hogan for the appointment and to thank the committee for having me here today to confirm that appointment. As Senator Hedelman said, my family has had a long history of public service in the state of Maryland, and I'm looking forward to continuing that. All right.
Are there any questions? It appears not, so
All right.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll move to Robert McKinney and Senator Hedelman again.
Thank you very much. I am pleased to introduce Bob McKinney, who originally was, I think, in the President of the Senate's district, but has since moved to the lovely 11th. Bob has a long experience in Annapolis and in government service, as well as public service. He is the principal at McKinney Public Affairs Consulting right now. He was the chair of the Maryland Stadium Authority for 4 years. He also worked at Johns Hopkins University and helped the EBDI, East Baltimore Development Corporation, get projects off the ground there. We know a lot of people in common, we found, and he has wonderful stories of days gone by in Annapolis, and has served for a number of years already on the Maryland Auto Insurance Fund, and brings a great deal of expertise and service. Thank you.
Mr. McKinney?
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, members of the committee, and I want to thank Governor Hogan for the reappointment to this position. I think we're doing some very good things at Maryland Auto. I think we're fulfilling our mission, and I'm happy to answer any questions about my background or anything that you would like to know.
Okay. Looks like you're okay.
You want to check with my wife? Thank you.
I wouldn't do that to you. Okay. So we will move on to the Cannabis Commission and Gina Scarzini and Senator Washington.
Good afternoon, colleagues. It's my honor, Chairman Young, colleagues, Chair Beidel, members of the Executive Nomination Committee. I am here to endorse and support today the recommendation, the confirmation of Gina Scarzini for the Medical Cannabis Commission. She has been a registered nurse for 47 years. My mom was a registered nurse, so we know that that's a good plus. And she's also been a nurse practitioner for more than 37 of those years. She's provided support and service throughout the state of Maryland, including the Greater Baltimore Medical Center, Good Samaritan Hospital, University of Maryland Medical System, also, I believe, the Veterans Administration, and as well as Keswick Multicare. So she's had a wide range of experience in a number of institutions. Even in her retirement, she continues her devotion to the health of Marylanders. She's worked over a number of years with hospice patients in palliative care at Aspire Health, and she gained the necessary expertise on the use of medical cannabis. Her patients have relied on her assessments, on her the cannabis products, and also on her ability to help them decide which ones are best for them. She continues her research on the advantages of medical cannabis as a member of the Education and Research Committee for the Commission. Her efforts on this committee will provide us as policymakers, as well as the public, with guidance on how they could best utilize medical cannabis. She was a qualified and fitting candidate when she was nominated, and she remains so today. I strongly endorse her nomination to the committee.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Senator Washington, for that introduction. I want to thank Governor Larry Hogan for appointing me chairperson and vice chairperson, and the committee for considering my nomination. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Are there any questions? You know, for all the nominees, everybody has a copy of your resumes, and I'm sure if they saw something that concerned them, they'd be asking a question.
Yes.
So thank you. We will move to the Chesapeake and Atlantic Coastal Bays, or the Critical Area Commission, and Sean Eames, and Senator Washington.
Great. Thank you. Another very important, of course, all of them are important, but certainly our Critical Area Commission is very important to the health not only of our Marylanders, as with the last commission, but also the health of our environment. Today, I am recommending the nomination of Sean Eames for the Critical Area Commission for the Chesapeake and Atlantic Coastal Bays. He has honorably served 12 years of plan review and fire inspections experience across the state of Maryland. His service comes from his passion for preserving the environment and protecting the people and communities that share our environment. He was a fire commander and fire codes manager for Baltimore Fire Department. Mr. Ames serves as the lead plan reviewer for Baltimore City Fire Department. When he reviews plans and site plans for renovations and new constructions, his job is to ensure their compliance and applicable codes. I think a skill that is not only a desire to ensure that we improve our environment, but has an understanding of the technical side of it. He represents the fire department at preliminary design and meetings with architects and engineers and contractors, and he's also coordinated work with the Department of Housing and Community Development. Mr. Ames has served his entire career protecting the people of Maryland, and because of this, I'm supporting his nomination and encourage you to confirm his nomination to the Commission for the Chesapeake and Atlantic Coastal Bays. Here he is.
Mr. Ames?
I would like to thank Senator Washington for considering my nomination. Also, I would like to thank the Honorable Governor Larry Hogan. What I think I will bring to the Critical Area Commission for the Chesapeake and Atlantic Coastal Bay is my passion for the environment, lifelong resident of Maryland. I've noticed the decline in the quality of our waterways along the Chesapeake Bay and the Bay beaches, and this is just my opportunity to serve, to hopefully maintain the quality of water and hopefully even improve it. So thank you very much for looking at my resume. Are there any questions for anybody?
Okay. Are there any questions or comments? Apparently not. So thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the Maryland Economic Development Commission, and we have J. Edward Coleman and Senator Elfreth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I'm here to strongly recommend Mr. Ed Coleman to the Maryland Economic Development Commission. He not only has a deep history of being Chief Executive Officer in healthcare and IT companies, two of Maryland's largest job sectors, but he's also a man of our community, serving on our community association right here in Annapolis. And for the chair of JPR, he is also a very proud alum of William and Mary. And with that, I highly recommend Mr. Coleman for this position. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Coleman?
Thank you, Senator Alfreth, very much. Thank you to the committee as well for your time this evening. I'd certainly like to thank Governor Hogan for his renomination of me to the Maryland Economic Development Commission. It's been an honor to serve on it for the last 5 years, and I would welcome the opportunity to continue to do so. Thank you very much, and happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you. And I see no hands are light, so thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll move to the State Board of Education, and that's Kevin, I hope it's Bokum, and Senator Quarterman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and colleagues. For the record, Senator Quarterman, District 2, Washington County. Pleased to have this opportunity to introduce you here this evening, Kevin Bokum. At this young age, Kevin is a very impressive young man and is highly to be commended. Kevin currently holds a 4.51 GPA at North Hagerstown High School. It's my alma mater, although my GPA was not as impressive. Kevin is enrolled in the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. He's also enrolled in the Dual Enrollment Essence Program and attending Hagerstown Community College, where there he currently holds a 4.0 GPA. Mr. Bokum currently serves as a student member of the Board of Education of Washington County, a position he's held since 2000. He is currently a member of the Hagerstown Youth Advisory Council, the Maryland Center for School Safety, and the Maryland Association of Student Councils, where he represents Garrett, Allegheny, and Washington County Student Councils. Mr. Bokum has served as the treasurer for North Hagerstown High officer team and also the fundraising chair for the North Hagerstown High Executive Board. He is currently active in many academic clubs in his high school, has received several honors for his academic and sports achievements throughout his high school career. Therefore, I fully support the nomination of Mr. Kevin Bokum to the State Board of Education. Thank you. Kevin.
Mr. Bokum.
Good evening. I would like to thank the Honorable Senator Quarterman for his support. I'd also like to thank you, members of the committee, for hearing me today. In this role, serving as Maryland State Board of Education, or already in the interim, it's been a wonderful time, and I would love to continue in this role. Hit the ground running, publishing COMAR and regulations, and it's truly been an honor of a lifetime, being able to talk to MABE, different education committees, and helping truly so Maryland can see the vision of equity and excellence through the blueprint and through all those subsequent factors you have going on here. So it's a privilege and an honor, and I'd like to ask you to continue serving in this position. So thank you.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to commend the incredible effort that you have demonstrated thus far. You seem like an incredibly qualified, and it looks like you're both also, the list of accomplishments was incredible, but also the clarinet and bass clarinet, weightlifting, calculus club. I don't know how you have time to do all these things. So if you got a secret, you might want to write a book, because I think a lot of us would be interested in how to maximize how you're doing everything. So keep up the great work. Honored to be able to support you.
Thank you.
I just want to know how you got that big that fast. But yes, very impressive. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Okay. No. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move to the handgun roster board, and first one up is Robert Podjewski. And Senator Lee.
Esteemed members of this Executive Nomination Committee, it's an honor and privilege to be able to nominate for confirmation for the Maryland Handgun Roster Board, Mr. Robert Podjewski. If you don't know, he was appointed in 2020. It's just to serve out the remainder of the 4-year term, and I thank Governor Hogan for this appointment. He is now retired, but he was a senior counsel and partner at the very prestigious firm of Finnegan, Henderson, Farbo, Garrett, and Dunner, which is one of the top intellectual property and patent law firms in the country, and also probably in the world, too. and where he distinguished himself in the area of things like patent litigation and biotech and bioscience, representing a number of clients in those particular areas, particularly in the area of intellectual property. He also was a board of directors for the American Jewish Committee, and also has worked very actively since his retirement in the community, including providing testimony on gun safety. He got his Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering from Virginia Polytechnic Institute and his JD from Georgetown Law Center. And he, despite his, he's in retirement, he took time to tutor students in math. And without further ado, I give you Mr. Robert Bajeski.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I appreciate your spending your time considering this my nomination, and I want to thank Governor Hogan for nominating me to this position. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And next up is Mai Harrison and Senator Patterson.
Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, colleagues, I am extremely delighted to bring before you for consideration as a member of the Handgun Roster Board, Ms. Harrison, who has had quite a bit of experiences along the way. I won't bore you with all the wonderful things that she has done, but right off the bat, she has a top secret security clearance, Master's of Arts from Grambling State University, Bachelor of Arts down in South Florida, and she has worked as a professional executive director for the great National Harbor down in southern part of Maryland. So also, some information I was able to depict was the fact that she has had some experience working with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I think she became a senior executive service candidate there, or employee, which is pretty difficult to attain if you are in the federal government. It's not easy. So with all those wonderful things, and many, many more I could tell you, I am just delighted to have Ms. Harrison, who will serve in this position for us, and I already know she's going to make us extremely proud. Ms. Harrison.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It's an honor and a pleasure to meet each and every one of you, and especially the governor for nominating me for this position. And after coming to you with 37 years of law enforcement experience, I'm one of very few people who has had experience on the federal, state, and local level. I have had a wonderful career. I retired in 2010, and I was recruited as the Executive Director of Security for Gaylord National Harbor. Spent 10 years there, and now I'm happily retired. And it's an honor to serve on this commission, so thank you very much.
Next up is J. Charles Smith III. Charlie is currently the state's attorney for Frederick County. He's the state director of the National District Attorney Association, and he's on the faculty of the National College of District Attorneys. Grew up in East Baltimore, went to Eastern Vocational Technical High School, then the University of Maryland for a degree in finance, and then on to the University of Baltimore Law School, where he graduated 10th in his class. Spent about 9 years in Baltimore City and prosecuting cases and managing a private law firm. And then he found his way up to Frederick, where he was deputy state's attorney and the chief of the Special Victims Unit. And he's prosecuted many of the office's high-profile violent crime and death penalty cases. He's also past president of the Maryland State's Attorney Association. So, Charlie,
Yeah.
Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Senator. Good to see you outside of Frederick. Congratulations on being an Annapolis short-timer. So you served with distinction down here, certainly. I'm thankful for the nomination. I think they found out my wife carried a gun, and she's a special agent with the FBI, hence the nomination. But nevertheless, I'm actually looking forward to serving on behalf of the Maryland States Attorneys Association. And once again, thank you for your consideration on this nomination as well. So,
Questions for Mr. Smith? If not, thanks for coming down. Good to see you.
thank you, Brian.
Okay, we'll move to the Higher Education Commission, Maryland. And first up is Halimat Adequois and Senator Kelly.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Adequoia Halimat was a former student right in our district at Milford Mill Academy, and is currently at UMBC, where she's doing a great job with a double major, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, and she's working on a Master of Teaching in Elementary Ed, and she is a candidate for the Maryland Higher Education Commission, and she's going to do a great job and represent us all well.
Okay, Ms.
Hello, good evening. Thank you, Senator, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, and the rest of the committee. To Governor Larry Hogan, I publicly thank you for my nomination. I am Halima Adequoia, and I am a senior Sherman Scholar studying political science and elementary education at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I am honored to appear here before you today to confirm my appointment as Student Commissioner on the Maryland Higher Education Commission and to serve our great state of Maryland. As a former student board member of the Baltimore County Board of Ed, I am honored to be provided with such a nomination, serving our students in our public colleges and universities, independent institutions, community college, and private career schools. As a former student board member, it is the job of the system, I believe, to best provide pathways and opportunities for individuals who aspire to attain higher education without them having to worry about any systematic hurdles such as finances or inequitable policies. In my role, I hope to uphold the standard of ensuring students are pursuing post-secondary education are continuously supported by the Maryland Higher Education Commission. I hope to receive your confirmation and continue to serve the commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Very quiet this evening. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Ray Serrano and Senator Lamb.
It's a close call there. So, members of the committee, Clarence Lamb, Senator District 12, here and pleased to be able to introduce Dr. Ray Serrano for the Maryland Higher Education Commission. Dr. Serrano has a long history in being involved in higher ed, including mentoring other students. First as a coordinator for a task force on the recruitment and retention of minority graduate students, and as a teaching fellow at the Yale School of Public Health, and also as a mentor for Black and Latino graduate students. He is well-versed in higher ed as a product of higher education himself, having had a bachelor's in political science, a master's in public health in health policy and management, as well as a PhD in health economics and health series research. He has a long employment history, both at the World Health Organization with Emory University School of Public Health, and now currently with the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And with that, I'm happy to introduce Dr. Ray Serrano.
Okay.
Hey. First of all, thank you to the committee, and thank you to Governor Hogan, Secretary Fielder for the Maryland Higher Education Commission. It's a long journey for me to be here. I think it's like, I would say I was a first generation primary school graduate. So to go from that to graduating from high school, be the first of that, first for college, first for PhD, And now to be kind of going full circle and try to get more folks like me in that situation and help them get kind of close the disparities between income, race, geography, and folks getting access to higher education. I think it's been a personal directive of mine, so I'm excited to be on this commission and open the door for any questions.
Okay. Are there any questions? Told you it'd be easy.
Thank you.
Next up is the Judicial Disabilities Commission and Sophia Jones and Senator Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. We have another top secret clearance Grambling grad. We know people can keep secrets tonight. I am pleased and honored to present to you Ms. Sophia Jones, seasoned professional administrator with expertise in managing and coordinating complex criminal and administrative investigations and inspections, both internal and external to employing agencies. Demonstrated proficiency with using investigative techniques and detection methods ranging from high-profile subject interviews to surveillance, computer forensic examinations, undercover work, and secretarial protection, executing search and arrest warrants, financial analysis, consensual monitoring, and mail covers. In other words, be very, very careful of this woman. Proven ability to integrate technology into design applications and management of program reviews. I am proud to present to you to be confirmed on judicial disabilities, Ms. Sophia Jones.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. I would like to thank Governor Larry Hogan for his nomination. I would also like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to speak with me this evening. I am very excited and I'm honored to be nominated, and I don't take the responsibilities of this position lightly. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Are there any questions or comments? If not, thank
That I
you very
can
much.
answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay, next up, we have two members of the Commission on LGBTQ Affairs that were not able to make it last week. So the first is that Dr. Stephen Martin and Senator Hayes.
Good afternoon, good evening, actually, members of the Executive Nominations Committee. Haven't had a chance to catch up with Stephen, but looking at his resume, and he's from the Fighting 40th District, I would imagine that he's going to be an awesome addition to this commission, so I wholeheartedly endorse the nomination of Stephen Martin.
Okay. Dr. Martin.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here and taking the time for these proceedings, and thank you to Governor Hogan for working in the creation of this commission as well as the nomination, my nomination for this commission. I'm excited to take part in this, and actually on my way down here, I was speaking with my parents who, for the first 25 years of my life, I was afraid of coming out to them, and hope that through the works of this commission and the topics that we take up, we can make that process easier for other citizens in this state, and that we can work to address some of the issues that face the LGBT community, and so that is why I'm here. So I'll take any questions.
All right, any questions? If not, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And next up is Mark Ritterhoff and President Ferguson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Pleasure to be here with you. I'm here to introduce Mr. Ritterhoff, who is not qualified just because he lives next to one of the greatest breakfast diners that exists at Sip and Bite. You may have seen on Diners and Dives. However, he is an incredibly talented counselor. Hails from the Northeast, was working in Vermont, went to school in Vermont, came down to join Johns Hopkins outpatient clinic, and is working for Chase Brexton currently, working on issues affecting the LGBTQ+ community. Is someone who understands what it's like to be in private practice, to work for an organization, but really work for children and their families in need. So without further ado, strongly endorse Mr. Ritterhoff's appointment to this new commission. Thank you.
So I'm absolutely thrilled to be here on the first LGBT commission. So I think it's an honor to be nominated, and anybody have any questions? I've got a lot more resume.
Are there any questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Quick and easy.
Yes.
Okay, next up is the Maryland Agricultural and Resource-Based Industry Development Corporation, Marbidco Board of Directors, and your first task is to learn to say that without stumbling. So Dr. Douglas Lipton and Senator Zucker.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Madam Vice Chair, distinguished colleagues. For the record, Senator Craig Zucker. It's my great honor to really put forth and echo the governor's appointment of Dr. Douglas Lipton. He's been a member of Marbidco since 2011. His resume speaks for itself, but I'll just speak a little bit for him since he's a great constituent of mine. He currently serves as a top researcher over in the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. He's got his PhD at University of Maryland. He also got another degree from William & Mary. But he's got a distinguished background. I was looking at all the journals that he participated and wrote in. I think he's written more journals than many of us had written bills. So with that, it's my great honor to put forth the nomination of Dr. Lipton.
Okay, Dr. Lippman.
Thank you, Senator. It's truly an honor to be nominated by Governor Hogan for this position, and I greatly appreciate the committee's consideration. Marbidco does an amazing, it's a lot of words, but it does an amazing job in terms of advancing agriculture, fisheries, forestry, and food production for the benefits of all the citizens of Maryland. So I look forward to being able to continue to advise the Marbidco. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And are there any questions? If not, thank you. And did Mr. Brian Rogers Jr. make it? And Senator Eckert?
This evening. Chairman and Madam Vice Chair, I'm here to present to Mr. Brian Rogers, who comes from, actually, he works down at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. And you know, Marbidco needs a variety of people on their board, and you just heard about the importance of fisheries. But it's also important to have folks who have experience in ag, particularly food production and small farms, and the sustainability of our small farms and on the soil. So Mr. Rogers has extensive experience. He's written extensively, as you can see. And I just think he will be a great asset to this team at Marbidco. So, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Senator Eichert. Certainly appreciate the introduction, and certainly want to also thank Governor Hogan for the nomination appointment, and thank you for your time, for your consideration. Just to give you a little bit of background about me, my grandfather was a small-scale vegetable farmer on the Eastern Shore of Virginia, and so I spent many summers helping him out on the farm, and just getting a chance to just see the hard work that went into growing a good quality crop from plant to harvest. It really helped deepen my appreciation for farmers, and so this is kind of what led me to be where I'm at today. So as the Small Farm Program Coordinator at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, I'm dedicated to helping limited resource, new and beginning farmers, as well as minority farmers succeed in the state of Maryland. Throughout the year, I take the lead in providing educational programs that really help
improve the farm profitability of farmers, help promote sustainability, and most importantly, try to help farmers put them in a better position to own and operate a farm business successfully. So with those goals, I think it really aligns very well with Mark Bicko's mission, and I'll be honored to serve on that board. So thank you for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. And are there any questions? If not, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Next up is the Board of Regents of Morgan State University, and Emily Hunter and Senator Kelly.
Colleagues, Emily M. Hunter is a consummate educator who will be a great addition to the Board of Regents at Morgan State University. She's been a principal at the Arlington Elementary School in Baltimore City. She's been involved with the Success for All Foundation as a trainer and for key personnel there and in various school districts. She's been an interventional teacher for Friendship Schools in Baltimore, and she's an expert in education testing. I won't go on, but she's got a number of areas of expertise, all of which will make her a fabulous addition to the Morgan State Board of Regents. And this 5-year term is partially already gone, so let's hope she is reappointed at the end of this initial period. And I introduce you to Emily M. Hunter.
Okay, Ms. Hunter.
Thank you. Nice to see everyone today. Thank you, Governor Hogan, for the nomination to this board, my alma mater. So I'm really excited to be able to serve in that capacity, and thank you all for your time this evening. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. And Senator Kelly.
One other thing is Morgan no longer has a debate program. And when I was there back in the 60s, I coached debate. West Point used to come to the Morgan debate tournament, so tell them about that too.
I definitely will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Senator Lamb? Oh, sorry.
No
Put my
problem,
glasses
Mr.
on.
Chair. I just wanted to second all of the great things that Dr. Kelly said about Emily. As she leave out the door, I've known her for a long time. And I mean, her outreach to the community and what she serves as a principal has been extraordinary. So just want to add on to that.
Well, when I was Deputy Secretary at Department of Planning, I had about 5 interns under me that came from Morgan State, and I'll tell you, they were all top quality. So if that reflects everybody at the school's doing a great job. So we'll move to the Procurement Improvement Council and Nancy Hall, and Senator Hershey couldn't be here tonight, but he said he strongly endorses you.
Hi, I want to thank everyone that's here and thank Governor Hogan for putting me on the Procurement Improvement Council. My career has been in nonprofits, and I'm representing the nonprofit sector because we're an important part of your economy, about 15 to 20%, which is one of the highest in the nation. And I thank everybody for paying attention to us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we will move to the State Real Estate Commission, and Jacina Button, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Spencer, and Senator Bailey.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and distinguished members of the committee. Senator Jack Bailey, District 29, for the record. This evening, I have the honor to introduce you to Jacinta Bottom Spencer. Jacinta. Sorry about that. Ms. Spencer is an Army veteran, an entrepreneur, an independent licensed realtor. She worked in business education and as a language arts teacher. I support her nomination as a member of the State Real Estate Commission.
Good evening, committee members. I would like to thank the Honorable Lawrence Joseph Hogan Jr. for this nomination. He truly strives to make Maryland a better place for all her inhabitants, and God is with him. I would like to thank the members of the committee for your time today with this confirmation and all you do on behalf of Maryland citizens, and I would be remiss not to give Senator Bailey acknowledgement. I am interested in serving on the Real Estate Commission. It is truly an honor and privilege to be a representative of the real property community in the protection of the public for probably their greatest asset purchase. And lastly, I want to thank God for without him I am nothing, and most importantly, that I was born in these United States of America at such a time as this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Apparently not, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will move to Donna L. Horgan and Senator Gallion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, Mr. President, and committee members. For the record, Senator Jason Gallion here, representing District 35, to introduce Donna Horgan for nomination to the State Real Estate Commission. Most of us know Donna through her wonderful work for many, many years in the State Senate, but she's also been a licensed real estate agent since 1998, the same year she won Rookie of the Year for the district with Century 21. In 2003, she went on to lead in sales out of 410 realtors in Cecil County. I strongly support this nomination, and at this time, I'd like to welcome back a familiar face and a familiar voice to the committee, Ms. Donna Horgan.
Well, it's so nice to be back in Annapolis and so nice to see all your faces. I have missed you all so much. I think about you every day, especially this time of year. And I want to thank Governor Hogan for the nomination. I've been serving on the Maryland Real Estate Commission since June 1st, and I serve on the Legislative Committee, and I serve on the Education Committee. I serve on the Application Review Board and the panel that listens to hearings before the commission. And I've learned a lot. I work with a lot of great people from the Department of Labor. I think 18 people in the Department of Labor work for the Maryland Real Estate Commission. And it's very interesting, and you get to help a lot of people, and I certainly am enjoying it. I'm so glad I hopefully will get to be able to continue my public service for the state of Maryland. It means a lot to me. And so nice to see all of you, and I thank you all so much for your time.
Okay, President Ferguson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Donna, it is wonderful to see you, and so great that things are going so well, and so excited that you've been able to expand your passion under this real estate board, and so excited to support you, and it's just wonderful, wonderful to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Okay, that concludes all the nominees tonight. Before we get into voting, we have 61 people to hear from the green bag. That could be 3 shorter meetings or 2 longer ones. We will take off next week. I would recommend that we do take the 61 in 2 meetings after that, unless anybody has objections to that. Okay, that's what we will do then. We'll be off next week, and then we'll finish up in the next 2 Monday nights after that. Okay, so we're ready to go otherwise. Senator Vital? Senator Edwards.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, time flies by, there was a recommendation or appointment of Secretary of Transportation.
We're going to do him tonight.
Pardon me?
We're going to do him tonight.
Okay, I didn't know that, so I thought I'd bring it up. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion first that we accept the nomination for all of the folks we heard tonight and all the statewide and the local, except for Senator Ellis is asked to hold L23.
I have a motion and a second to approve everyone except number 23,
L23.
L23.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, thank you. And
And the second motion is to ask that we approve the nomination for Acting Secretary Jim Ports to become Secretary Jim Ports.
motion second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? One opposed? Or a question?
I have some questions about, some time to ask some questions about him, but
Sorry, I can't hear you.
are we going to do that? Or? Yeah, okay.
Come into the mic, Susan, I can't hear you.
Okay. I did not know we were going to do this tonight, so, but I had some, I wanted to have some time to ask some questions. But I don't want to hold this up here. Senator Lamb, did you have something you want to?
I was just going to explain my vote.
Okay, go ahead. Why don't you go ahead first?
Sure. So I still have some of the same concerns that I had 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had Mr. Ports up before this committee. I was not the one that held his, proceeding with this committee, but I was not actually. But I did have some concerns. But I was going to vote in the no at that point in time. I'm still voting in the no now, but just wanted to explain that. Thank you.
Senator Lee?
Well, I didn't bring my notes right now, but I had some concerns, and particularly, some concerns about the P3 project. And in a letter that most of my Montgomery County colleagues sent him that was since unanswered. So we have some questions, and they were not yet answered yet. So based on that, I can't move forward on this, and if you want to move forward on this, I have to vote no.
Okay. Yes.
Explaining my vote, I'm voting in the affirmative tonight, but I do have some lingering concerns as well that Senator Lee and I assume that Senator Lamb have, specifically in my district regarding pedestrian safety. So I'll ask the pending secretary or the acting secretary just to address that offline before he comes up on the floor. But I'm voting in the affirmative. I'm comfortable, and I'm sure that we can address all of my concerns.
Okay. Senator Pinsky.
Yeah, like the senator from Tacoma Park, I will be voting in the affirmative, although I'm not happy with the transportation proposal on 270 and the Western Beltway, but that obviously is coming from his boss and not from him, and he's just putting in place the procedure and process and politics of Governor Hogan, so that's where my concern lies. I'm not going to hold it against nominee Ports.
Well, you echoed some of my concerns, but I'm voting positive. So let's do that officially. All those in favor? And those opposed, raise your hand. We have Senator Lee and Senator Lamb opposed. Did I see any other hands? If not, it moves forward. Senator?
I guess I'm speaking for myself, but this is an awful lot of paper, and we get everything electronically already sent to us that we can access from staff, and I'm sure it takes a lot of staff time. Is there a way we could opt out of like getting so much paper printed to maybe save staff some time and prepare for these hearings?
Yeah? Sure.
Gotcha.
I'll opt out.
If you don't want the paper, just contact them and tell them you don't, they'll take you off.
Yeah, they make sure ahead of time we have all of the information we need, we load it up to our
Yeah.
laptop, and we appreciate that. I just think it's extra of a burden for them to do that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. If you like paper, we'll continue it. If you don't, let the staff know and we'll take you off.
Yes.
Okay, raise your hands and we'll keep them up so they can get your names.
Yeah, except for Senator Griffin. What happened to that side of the table? No one over here.
I'm holding it down. Can I opt out in this committee and opt in another committee?
Okay, that whole side of the table and Senator Feldman.
Because I got a highlighter and a pen, I need to see the paper.
Oh, whole side of the table from Senator King down. And Senator Feldman. Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
my concerns had to do with the environmental impact statement and that the fact that we had sent the letter and that we had not received an adequate response on those questions. Can I submit that for the record? We haven't adjourned.
Yeah, I did adjourn.
The supplemental draft, the environmental impact statement, we had some questions about that. Can I submit that for the? For courts, yeah, because we had questions about that environmental impact statement, and we were not provided with adequate response for that, so that's why I'd like to just explain my vote on that. That there are a lot of unanswered questions.